Okay, here we have a typical case of what we call a combination chain on a trencher. Combination chain is something that I believe is the wrong way to go. Very much so. I'm going to show you exactly why I believe this is the problem. If we look closely at this trencher chain here, it's actually done a little bit of work. It's actually got wear on the top of the standard earth teeth, where it's been working for a couple of months. And it's got these digger tack teeth, as they call them here, which are the rock teeth, which is showing absolutely no wear on them. The interesting thing is, if you look down the bottom down here, I think you can see on the film, you'll notice that the digger tack teeth are now holding the earth teeth out of the ground. So all of a sudden, half the teeth on that chain are doing absolutely nothing. That's a real problem, because why do you set up why would you set up a trencher chain with half the teeth doing absolutely nothing? If you use all the digger tack teeth, then they absolutely do nothing, because they very quickly get rounded off on the bottoms, and all of a sudden you might as well drag your fingers through the dirt. They're designed to actually grind rock into powder, and most soils are definitely not rock. If you're in any sort of shale rock or any sort of earth, the Pratco tooth, or what they call the earth tooth, the normal soil tooth, will dig far better than these digger tack teeth. These digger tack teeth actually hold you out of the ground. It's a really interesting situation, because people think that they're spending less money on their chains. What actually happens is they actually wear their chain out before their teeth even start digging, because as the trench is in the ground and the chain goes around the roller here, as the outside teeth always lean back first, they actually wear out the rollers on the back of every tooth, and the chain stuffs up totally. The teeth still look okay. The person who's using the trencher thinks he's got good teeth, but he's wasting heaps of fuel and heaps of time, because the chain is actually not doing much digging. I can absolutely guarantee you that if you took all those so-called digger tack teeth off this chain and set up with all the other type of teeth, the Pratco teeth, it will dig something like 2 to 3 times faster in the same soil conditions. Unbelievable. And if you're digging in pure rock, the earth teeth will work just as well. So there's no downside to it. Another thing you'll see on this particular chain is the bar is badly worn from trying to dig through the rock, and obviously it hasn't done much digging, but it's done enough to wear those points off, as I said, and it's all now sitting on these digger tack points, and the bar is sort of worn fairly badly. Now don't get too excited about that. It's designed as a wear point. The bar on the boom is a wear point to actually push the chain against the dirt that it's trying to dig on. It's got to push it against it. It's no good if it's actually bouncing around and not doing the work. The chain is designed, the whole trench is designed so the loose bit's here, and as it comes around, it's pushing hard against the chain, so it's actually cutting into the ground. It works properly that way. Any other type of situation where the boom is spring loaded, it actually starts to jerk and jar, and you actually can't dig in the ground. So the DINGO trencher is by far the best trencher for this sort of digging. It'll outperform all the other brands. There's a reason why we make it like this, and that's because it works better. This is a very short version. This is actually a GP version. We normally would have the bigger heavy duty trencher here for display, but it just so happens that today I was here in Melbourne, and this one showing this amount of wear was right here in front of me, because it's just been traded in. The interesting thing is, in this particular case, the guy is a irrigation contractor who has been using this and thinking it was okay. We turned up the other day with a brand new DINGO, one of our new Aussie DINGOs with a lot more power, and a full-size decent trencher, and we put it in the ground and showed him what the differences is in it. He had to check in our hand within 10 minutes. Fantastic difference. This is what is wrong when people use the wrong equipment for the wrong job. We'll sell this to some guy who wants to just do a little bit of work in his backyard, and he'll be happy enough, and we'll put the other good teeth on it before we actually sell it to him. There's nothing wrong with the trencher itself, but the chain is certainly the wrong chain.